In the first part of this video program, we talked about the Alcyone rings and the approach of the gigantic planet nearing Earth. As promised, here is the second installment with many crucial details provided by the venerable masters of the White Lodge, whose books you can request in the comments below, and we will gift them to you. Everything will change absolutely when our solar system enters the super-powerful rings of the Alcyone Sun, one of the Pleiades. For example, molecules, whether of iron, phosphorus, calcium, copper, nitrogen, carbon, starch, etc., would be completely modified due to radiation. This means you will see a change in matter. Scientists believe they know matter, but they really don't. The concept they have of matter is just that, a concept and nothing more. Matter as a substance is unknown to physicists. I'm not saying that merely physical matter can't be destroyed, but the substance itself, that famous Iliaster that, after the great cosmic night, rests in the deep darkness of the abyss or bottomless space, is unknown to modern scientists. Atoms offer many surprises. Scientists know nothing about atoms before existence and even less about atoms after the universe ceases to exist. Atoms offer many surprises that the scientist, nuclear physicist, doesn't even remotely suspect. Atoms carry within them what the Hebrews call fiery particles, hachon or fiery souls. These fiery souls are formidable. Without them, atoms couldn't process into the living constitution of matter. So, in reality, no one knows the powers of, for example, a few grains of sand. We can be sure that no one knows the powers hidden there and what the hachon or fiery souls, enclosed in each atom, are capable of. The great magicians of the East know how to work with these fiery particles of the atoms and in chaos. These atoms, driven by the fiery particles, obviously develop formidable powers that modern scientists don't even remotely suspect. Don't be surprised, then, by what I say, that the fiery or vivifying radiations of the Alcyone atoms will alter the molecules of nature. This radiation, enveloping the Earth, will be so intense that there will be no night for 2,000 years. The entire Earth will be wrapped in such radiation that sunlight will no longer be needed to see. This radiation will illuminate even the deepest caves, and for 2,000 years there will be no night, but a continuous day without night. This is written, and the best sages agree. Obviously, scientists will not accept what we are emphatically stating today. They will not accept it in any way because it does not align with their scientific dogma, but this is a reality. The organisms of all beings will be modified, plants and animals alike, etc., etc. Many plants that do not exist today, many animal species whose germs are latent at the bottom of the seas, in the rocks, or in the most remote mountains, will be revived by the radiation and, as a result, will come into existence. This event occurs every 10,000 years. It has happened before and will happen again because it obeys the celestial transit, and our solar system must inevitably pass through the rings of Alcyone. Some may say that Alcyone is far away, that it is a Pleiad and has nothing to do with our solar system. It is nice to speak like this, in ignorance. But the reality is that the sun that illuminates us is part of Alcyone and is the seventh. It is a system of suns that revolve around Alcyone. The event mentioned will last for 2,000 years. The radiation from the Alcyone rings will exert a specific influence on our planet's rotation. This means that the rotation speed on its axis will slow down, and as a result, our world will continue to orbit the Sun but in a wider orbit. It will move a bit further from the solar center. The verticalization of our planet's axis concerning the ecliptic will be a concrete fact. The poles are melting due to the deviation of the Earth's axis. This has already been demonstrated. Today the magnetic pole no longer coincides with the geographic pole. With the terrible radiation of Alcyone, the poles will accelerate their deviation. The Count of Saint Germain said, "The first to alter will be the spring and summer seasons." Which you can perfectly see, this spring has been anything but spring, year 1977. In the middle of spring, we have had to endure cold. Also, summer has not been the same. It seems that the seasons are called to disappear. The poles are melting, and with Alcyone's radiation, this process will hasten. Ice will invade the entire north, the entire south, only the equatorial zone will be bearable. A new glaciation is coming. The Earth has already endured other glaciations before, and a new one is coming. The recent cold in the United States was like never seen before. When will our Earth, or better said, our solar system, enter the terrible rings of Alcyone? When will we start crossing that ring, which we have to cross every 10,000 years? No scientist could say. It is really unpredictable. But since 1962, we have been on the verge of entering them. It should not surprise us that at any moment we enter the Alcyone rings. I refer to the facts. The 3 astronauts who orbited the Earth in 1974 reported a strange type of radiation. A terrible change is coming to nature, that is obvious. But the height of heights will happen with the arrival of Hercules. The event of Hercules is preceded by the entry of our planet Earth into the Alcyone rings. It is then that we will come to understand that physical matter is not always the same. If you believe that the physical matter, which makes up our world, always had the same mathematical formulas, you are completely wrong. It was different in the polar, Hyperborean, Lemurian, Atlantic epochs, and now, as we cross the Alcyone rings, its mathematical formulas will change completely. Result: the elements that today can be used for medicine, for example, will no longer be useful. The formulas used to treat plants will become superfluous. The formulas for animals will be out of sync, as they say. The knowledge of contemporary physics will be the laughingstock of everyone. All that is taught in current chemistry will become useless within a few years, with the entry into Alcyone's radiation, because chemistry will change its formulas. Once again, we will see the law of the pendulum. We are starting the great cycle of transformations, which began on February 4, 1962, between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. Despite what the stubborn may say, we refer to the facts. There had never been a more grandiose concentration in the sky than on February 4, 1962. Let's not be surprised, then, that at any moment our solar system enters the Alcyone rings. We must prepare ourselves now. Many will not be able to withstand the radiation and will die. Physical matter will become more radioactive, more phosphorescent, and this will somehow help our work. It is clear that we must be reviewing our behavior daily. We must become more reflective, more careful with our critical judgments, and especially more attentive to our negative emotions. In the field of psychology, we find much disorder in people. Everyone is driven by negative emotions, and this is very serious. Nothing is more damaging to deep inner development than negative emotions. When you are assailed by a negative emotion, express it as best as you can. If a negative emotion has arrived, a negative emotion of envy is eating us to the bone, let's express it harmoniously, not in favor of envy but of the good of others. If an emotion of anger shakes us at a given moment, let's speak with extraordinary sweetness and, instead of feeling annoyed by what has hurt us, let's speak well of the one who has offended us. This way, we will not be internally wounded. It is not easy to express well when one has a negative emotion, but that is how it must be. If we have a feeling of anger because someone has bothered us, let's speak with love and in favor of the one who has bothered us. It is clear that we should not stay on the surface. We need to eliminate those undesirable psychic elements that, from moment to moment, have produced a negative emotion, whether of anger, envy, hatred, lust, pride, etc., etc. We must do at least that while eliminating the aggregates that have produced the emotions. This way, we will not be wounded. This way, we will gradually awaken consciousness. We have said in various video programs of the science of energism that other planets and galaxies are also inhabited, not by reptiles or monsters, but by much higher and advanced humanities. These space brothers are ready to perform a great rescue of all those dedicated to the awakening of consciousness, with the three factors: elimination of the egos, white tantrism, and service to suffering humanity, along with astral unfolding and meditation. All of this is taught on our channel on social networks like Facebook, YouTube, and others. Help us spread this information and these videos everywhere, so the light shines across the face of the earth, and humanity can truly awaken and free itself from this mental and physical prison in which we are, but few perceive. Even free themselves from the same grave for eternity and the wheel of births and deaths in which we are immersed. If it comes from your heart, you can donate resources to the PayPal or Niqui account listed in the description box, which are invested in paying for publicity in ads that promote this content in many more countries, as well as in its production. Giving is how you receive. By helping to spread this knowledge, the universe pays us with enormous blessings and divine help. I am the apprentice of the Venerable Masters of the White Brotherhood, and we will see each other in a next video program with more of these hidden teachings of the White and Hidden Masonry, pure Gnosis, the science of energism. Deep peace.